Okay, let's go live on Instagram. Takes a second. Yeah, I kind of geek out over this technology stuff. It's a great way to get our message across and to leverage these platforms to really get our brand out there as well. So I'll do a little intro here.
Okay.
When I hit the button, you'll hear the music in the background and everything. Don't speak during that time because the mics are live and it'll show up in the broadcast. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. Well, hello, everybody, all you great listeners out there in podcast land that tune in to the Grow Clinton podcast. I consider it the greatest podcast on the planet Earth, but I'm biased. So, Grow Clinton, what is it? We are an economic development organization with a focus also on community development and tourism based out of Clinton, Iowa. We are a 501c6 nonprofit, and we love doing the Grow Clinton podcast for all the right reasons, really to build our brand and get a positive message out there throughout the Clinton community and the greater Clinton region alike. As always, I am your host, Andy Sokolovich, the president and CEO of Grow Clinton, normally joined by Jenny Home, but Jenny's a little under the weather today, so keep her in your thoughts. That flu is really going around like crazy. So it's just me today, solo podcast, but I have two amazing guests. And before I introduce them, the one thing I get really excited about is high-speed fiber internet. That's right, folks. The Grow Clinton podcast is powered by Miles Communications. Check them out, milestelephone.com. Again, milestelephone.com for all your internet needs. If they're not in your area yet, they're on their way, milestelephone.com. So today I have two guests. I have Abby and Joe from LyondellBasell, LYB. What, you guys have had so many names. It's hard to keep track of them all. But you're a large industrial employer here in Clinton. You do great things for our community. Joe sits on our board of directors. I'm always inspired by your leadership and look forward to any chance I have to sit down and talk with you. And now with the introduction of Abby, we're bringing you into the studio to have a conversation about Women's History Month, the month of March, and what you are doing as a company, specifically locally here in Clinton, to celebrate that. So Joe, Abby, feel free to take off and just share some of the information that's going to be going on here in March.
Wow. So how do we start, Abby? So maybe what I'll do, talk a little bit about LyondellBasell first, because, we're right in your backyard, but a lot of people don't really know who we are and what we do.
They know the flare tip.
Yeah,
that's what they know. They know that there's a large flare tip out there.
So we are a global leader in the chemical industry, committed to creating solutions for everyday sustainable living. We're one of the world's largest polymer producers, polyethylene, polypropylene, and our competitors, everybody's using our technology. So
right.
We are the licensor of just about every polyolefin technology there is.
Now break it down. Plastics,
polyethylene, polypropylene.
There you go.
Our products go into all kinds of things that you use every single day. I mean, you get in a car, your car is made like 50% of it's plastic.
I know, right?
That's a bunch of our
dashboards, stuff. Everything.
Right. We sell to the people who mold it into the stuff you use every day. Yeah. So sustainable transportation, you need a light car, it needs to have a lot of plastic on it because it's a lot lighter than steel, right?
Right.
So we're into that. We're into food safety, so packaging of food.
Milk jugs.
Milk jugs is a big thing for us, and then all kinds of different kinds of food packaging. During COVID, it was a big deal. Nobody wanted to use anything more than once.
Right. Yeah.
So, food safety is one. Then clean water. We're into all kinds of pipe, small
PEX tubing,
small piping like PEX in your house. It's all
which I love, by the way.
Oh yeah,
much easier to use.
I don't solder well, and the fittings for copper is very difficult. PEX has been a game changer, especially if you're a homeowner like me that likes a little DIY, do it yourself. I can rock some PEX tubing.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and any kind of metal piping, you're going to get all kinds of scaling and stuff over the years. So I mean, plastic, it doesn't have that issue. So
right.
Another great thing. And it's also, some of the pipe we make is 3-4 foot diameter, a couple inches thick.
Wow.
For transporting water across long distances. So
No, I love visiting your plant. Some of the other things I'm always geeking out about when I come in is also kayaks.
Yeah.
Kayaks.
Oh, yeah.
And then also the filament that's inside. So you drive through a fast food joint, you get yourself a big cup of pop, and there's a plastic resin that's actually inside that cup that prevents the moisture from bleeding through the cup. That is another part of what you manufacture out of Lyondell.
So another is in healthcare. You know, if you go into the hospital or doctor's office, you just look around at all the stuff is plastic.
Yeah.
Everything from the clothing,
All the PPE that they have to wear.
right.
No.
Yeah, exactly. It's all polyolefin.
Yeah. No, I'm blown away. Every chance I get to visit the plant, still, I've been there probably, I don't know, 24 times in my tenure of doing economic development, community development in the Clinton area. I don't know how it happens, but I know what you manufacture. I know high density, low density polyethylene, but I don't understand the rest of it, nor do I desire to. That's why we have people like Abby who are chemical engineers that know how to make the clock tick.
So, you know, we have maybe 20,000 people worldwide, over 20,000, I think. We're in about, I think, 20 countries for manufacturing, and we sell our products in over 100 countries. So we've got offices all over the world. You know, we've got a program that talk a little bit about what we're here to talk about today. You know, we have a corporate citizenship program called Advancing Good, and that's support. We really try to support our communities that we work in, our planet, and tomorrow's workforce, right?
Yeah.
So a lot around education. And am I talking? Oh, is that better?
There you go, sir. It's a podcast. Sorry. You got to eat the mic. So you do have one of the things you just touched on it, but I don't want to just breeze past the amount of time, effort, and money that Lyondell, LYB, as a brand, as a company, puts in to recycling. I mean, here you manufacture plastics, but you also put your money where your mouth is, and you want to make sure that the sustainability and the removal of those plastics from our oceans, from our landfills, are taken care of sustainably, and you do that very well at Lyondell.
I really appreciate you mentioning that, because you know we are big into building a circular and low carbon solutions business. You know, we recycle polymer, so we collect waste plastic, we clean it up, we recycle it back into the process, and we make fresh product out of it. We've made over 200,000 metric tons of recycled polymer now.
That's impressive.
We have a technology that we've started construction in Europe, and we're going to start some construction also down in the Houston area, and that is going to take waste polymer and convert it back into the oil feedstock that you know you get out of the ground, right? And then we can recycle that into all kinds of products. That's amazing. So really awesome stuff. To talk a little bit about what we're going to, what we're doing here is we're trying to help the community with this program for Women's History Month. I guess maybe Abby, you can talk a little bit about that, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Abby Decker. I'm an engineer out at our plant, and I'm also in charge of one of our employee networks. So within LYB, we have employee networks which are used to cultivate a community in a sense of belonging. So our employees try to find connections with other colleagues that they have similar interests with, goals, values, and a place where they can thrive. So one of the networks there's 8 total, but one of them that I'm really involved in, and I lead our local chapter, is our LIFT employee network, which is LYB Inspiring Women Together. Our vision is to try to promote inclusion, a sense of belonging, feeling valued, heard, and trusted within our company, and also just try to improve when we can any initiatives that we can hop on. So Women's History Month is a huge part of our LIFT network. And so we kind of take the whole month to utilize reaching out and helping our community. International Women's Day theme is Accelerate Action. And so what we thought we could do this month, so for the month of March, We are doing a women's clothing drive that benefits the Pursuits program. Renaissance Resale Boutique will be taking all the clothing that we've collected and using it towards their Pursuits program. They basically tag the clothing and or provide the professional clothing to people in the community who are looking for professional wear for job opportunities, careers they've already started or looking for, and provide them with some of these resources that they need. So it's a really great program here locally. It sounds very similar to like Dress for Success, but it's more on a local scale for Clinton, which is awesome.
No, I absolutely love that. Again, Renaissance Resale and Boutique, they're located on the 200 block of 5th Avenue South in historic downtown Clinton. And that's great that you're partnering with their team, because they offer some amazing clothes that many people would just not even acknowledge they were on the shelves at a big box store. But these are clothes that are slightly used, but they're all in great condition and perfect for anybody that's looking for a new career opportunity, wants to dress for success, and is maybe on a budget. So they do a great job over there. That's awesome, guys.
Yeah, Missy cooks great. She's
Yep, she's an awesome supporter of Grow Clinton, and we want to see her continue to thrive within our community. So that's great. So we're talking about LyondellBasell's initiative, the month of March, to support women in the workplace and really to identify some opportunities how they can get involved in the community to help grow the Clinton area. And one of the best ways to help support professionals in search of a new career field is also not only dressing for success, but having the skill sets necessary to write an effective resume. Talk to me a little bit about the interviewing portion of this and the resume portion of what you're planning to do.
Absolutely. So not only are we doing a clothing drive for the month of March, we're also opening to the community, both males and females, and everyone's welcome, a workshop that we'll be doing on March 27th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It will be open to the community, like I mentioned, for resume building. So we are going to volunteer our time from LYB, the Clinton site. Some volunteers will be coming down to the Grow Clinton area. I think we're using the conference rooms here.
Our office here at 721 South 2nd Street, right underneath the South Bridge.
Yep. And we'll be helping people in the community write resumes and also do some mock interviews. So interviewing can be very challenging and sometimes very daunting if you haven't done them recently and you're looking for a career change. So our employees will be volunteering to help lead some mock interviews and also improve resumes for the people in the community.
That's great. I cannot tell you how important it is, as somebody who's reviewed dozens of resumes and authored several in my own professional growth, to have an inside expert tell you what you're looking for, what to be expected when you write your resume, some of the basic stuff like leaving off contact information. I often see beautifully written resumes with no email address or telephone number. Mm-hmm. So I want to get in touch with you. I want to bring you in as a potential person to join our staff, and I can't even get in touch with you.
Yep.
So that's awesome. And that's happening on the 27th of March.
Correct.
10 a.m. to 6 p.m. How does one register for that event?
So we actually have a external flyer that we're going to provide to the community. It will be hanging in a lot of storefronts as well as on social media platforms that has a QR code and where they can sign up. They can also do walk-ins. So we're welcoming people to walk in if they decide they can make it but didn't have a chance to sign up. Anyone in the community can participate in this. It's not limited just to women because it's Women's History Month. Right. This is open to everybody. But yeah, they can sign up with our QR code. They can also, I think Grow Clinton's also promoting our
we
QR
will,
code.
Yes.
Yep.
And one of the things that just came to mind, also partnering with some of our staffing agencies we have here in town, Adecco. We have Sedona and Temp Associates. Yep. We have great partnerships with them, and I'm sure they would love to promote this opportunity to their clients as well.
Absolutely.
That'd be great. Jenny put us in touch with Sue Watkins at Temp Associates. So she's actually going to come down and help us do some of the interviews and stuff.
Good,
so
very exciting.
Fun.
It's important, regardless of what level you were in your career. If you ever think that you have it all figured out and you interview excellently, there's things that you can probably improve on. And the opportunity to sit across the table from some volunteers, no stress, right? You're not actually applying for the job. It's just testing your skill sets, testing your interview abilities, and a way for you to kind of relax
build some confidence.
Build some confidence.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is awesome. I'm so glad you guys are doing this.
We are too. We're very excited. And we're also doing the clothing drive externally too. So like outside of our company, if people in the community are looking to donate their clothing, they can take it to the Renaissance Resale Boutique and donate directly to them as well. And we'll help them sort it at the end of the month.
Yeah, that's very cool. I know, when I left the service after 12 years and I had to do my first civilian interview, I was terrified. I didn't even really, I didn't own a suit. You had a uniform, you had your dress uniform, you had your fatigues. I didn't own a suit. I had yet to sit down in front of a civilian employer and actually interview for anything. I mean, we go through some board interviews from award panels and for promotions and things of that nature, but never interviewing for a job. And the hardest thing for me, and I'm sure many veterans will say the same thing, is taking what you did in the military and converting that into a language that's understood by all. Because my resume was just full of acronyms. I was an air traffic controller. It just bled acronyms, and some of which I didn't even know what they meant, so I had to Google them. But that being said, is you have to sometimes, I don't want to say dumb it down, but make it translate into a way that people are going to understand how that experience will positively impact their place of employment by hiring you.
Absolutely. And I think the questions have changed over time too. When you're interviewing for jobs now, they're, more towards behavioral based questions, whereas before it was like more just about what you've done, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think this is a great opportunity for people who may have not been interviewing anytime recently to see what the questions are like with no pressure.
And I love the behavioral interview questions. I think we should have done that a long time ago, because what's written on somebody's resume and how they are as an individual, their ability to adapt, their willingness to learn, their just general personality, will they fit within your culture? You're not going to realize any of that by just looking at an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper with somebody's graduate year on there from college or whatever it is. You really need to sit down and get to know that person as an individual.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with the resume building help too, we're going to help drive, some of those pop out things on your resume to catch the attention of employers, right? Because we're looking at a lot of resumes on a daily basis. We also do our university recruiting programs, and so we're always looking at resumes so we know what people are looking for. And so it's helpful when you get someone else's opinion and can get some of those eye-catching items on your resume a little more highlighted. So I think it'll be good for the community to get some help and hopefully get a job that they're really looking for.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Again, we're interviewing Joe and Abby from LyondellBasell, LYB, here in Clinton, Iowa. They're doing some awesome stuff this coming month. Again, March 27th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We'll be hosting here at Grow Clinton, 721 South 2nd Street. The interviews, mock interviews, and resume reviews. Again, partnering with Renaissance Resale and Boutique, 200 block of 5th Avenue South. If you have any clothes that you would like to donate, women's clothing, that is of a professional attire, take it over there to Renaissance Resale and talk to Missy. She'd love to be able to help you out and make sure those clothes are used for all the right reasons and get into the right hands. What else do you guys want to discuss today about what's going on in March or anything new at the plant?
Well, just to maybe tack on, so definitely watch for the letters from Grow Clinton, because we'll have the information on this event throughout the month, and then also for the interview and mock interview and resume writing.
The sign-up sheet.
Yeah, the sign-up sheet. That's through you guys as well. So I guess I'd like to say one thing about Grow Clinton. I mean, you guys are really all about building up the community. Bringing in new business into the community, and just super support. I mean, when I first came here and saw what you guys were doing, I said, I want to be a part of that. I mean, it's just awesome stuff. I mean, just an example, this event, I mean, you guys are helping us with this podcast, promoting it in the community with the newsletters, donating the facility so that we can use it. It's a nice place for people to come to easily. Mm-hmm. Just awesome. And then, put us in contact with other business leaders, right? Sue Watkins is now a part of this as well. I mean, I was really pumped up that she got so excited about it.
That's what we do. I often tell people, if I don't know the answer, we as a staff don't know the answer, we know where to look. And that's the one benefit of Grow Clinton membership, is really the plethora You don't get to use that word every day, right? Plethora of resources that we have at our fingertips. And that's why we exist. We exist to make our community a better place to live. Raise your family, get involved. I mean, one of the cool things we do prior to these podcasts is we send out what's called a jot form, and it's really just a questionnaire so we know who we're interviewing and what the topic's about. But Joe, you include on your jot form when you filled it out that how important it is to get involved in your community, whether it be through your place of employment or just you as an individual. This is me just jumping on my soapbox, right? You do not have the privilege nor the opportunity to complain if you're not part of the solution. So sometimes I get a little aggravated as you scroll through social media and you see people complaining about all these things. Yet when you reach out to them about getting involved in a committee, in a task force, on a board, well, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be part of the solution. I just want to complain about the problem.
Man, I'll tell you what, it is so important for people to be involved in the community. I mean, we can make such a huge difference if we're working together. I mean, that's what I love working with you guys on these projects for the community, because we're actually doing things that are going to make things better, right?
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, if we're not growing, we're falling behind, right?
That's right.
We got to get involved.
That's right. No, if we're not growing, we're falling behind. All three of us are kind of transplants to the state of Iowa and the Clinton community. All three of us can say that our home of record is Pennsylvania, but here we are in Clinton, Iowa, have grown to love it, ingrained ourselves in community involvement, and are doing everything we possibly can to ensure this community thrives and sustains itself for years to come. Yeah.
Well said, man. I really appreciate everything you're saying there. I'm sorry, I cut in on you.
No, I was just going to say I completely agree. I think working, in this community is so important for us to be able to give back and volunteer and participate in whatever, like Grow Clinton or other, community involvement opportunities arise, because we're right in the back door, like backyard of a lot of people, right? And some people don't even know who we are. And so it's nice to get our name out there and also just help the community in which we live. A lot of our workers that are at the plant live in these communities. So it's very important that we participate.
Well, I know my neighbor works for you guys, loves it. I feel like I visit that plant so often, I need to have my own office and a set of, what is it called, Nomex?
Yeah, Nomex.
Yeah,
there you go.
Get some Nomex. Yeah. No, you guys have
been. You want the jumpsuit?
I do. I want the jumpsuit. I don't know if I want blue or tan. What's the difference?
You got to get the blue.
Got to get the blue. Yeah. So blue's in operations, or
you need the navy at our plant. Navy blue is the way to go. If you wear the royal blue, then you're a transplant from Texas.
Yeah, that's how you pick out a Texan.
Hey, speaking of Texas and things coming up, when do we start the turnaround at Lyondell?
Okay, so that is July of 2026.
Okay, so July of 2026. That brings in an extra couple thousand people to our community.
Exactly. This particular turnaround is probably the largest we've ever done.
Wow.
At our Clinton facility.
Correct. We're doing probably 3 months. It's typically a 2-month outage. This is a 3-month outage. We're doing a whole lot of new investment in the plant. It's really going to be a busy time.
So excuse my ignorance, because I am somewhat of a lay person when it comes to this, but you basically shut down operations, and then every nut, bolt, screw is basically taken out, greased, looked at, evaluated, and then you go back up and run again 3 months later.
Take it all apart,
put it back together,
over, and put it back together.
Yeah. But no, that is a huge injection of professionals into our community, and the reason you said Texas is that most of them are Texas plates. So you'll see a lot of Texas plates cruising around the city of Clinton. But I tell you, from an economic impact, that is massive. And I'm trying to think of a couple predecessor that Jim Hillier of yours, he threw out a number one time, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it was several, if not tens of millions of dollars of economic impact into our community, just from people staying at hotels, motels, Airbnbs, shopping local, eating at our restaurants. I mean, it's massive.
It's an injection of probably on the order of about 2,000 people, and this time for 3 months.
Yeah.
So, so a whole lot of income coming into it.
Yeah, keep up the great work, both of you. To the entire team, you guys have been nothing but supportive of Grow Clinton. We appreciate that. Your entire team, everybody out there, regardless of what color Nomex they wear, has been just a pleasant addition to my life personally and professionally, because I feel like I am welcome with open arms every time I come out there. And for me, it's somewhat intimidating because I don't understand exactly how it works. And I'm surrounded by all these engineers and people that have been involved in this business for a very long time. But you have a way out at that plant and you have a culture that makes people feel that you as a company are very approachable.
Thanks. And
That's definitely the goal.
Yeah, it is. And just last Thursday night, we're looking for a way to get a direct line for our students, right? To a career path to get them from high school to a job as an operator at Lyondell or ADM or 3M in 1 year, 3 semesters, right? They can come out with a certificate that will get them a guaranteed interview at our facility or at ADM. Yeah, so it's going to be an awesome opportunity for students.
And that's in partnership with Eastern Iowa Community Colleges, so stay tuned for more information regarding that. But a program that is much needed within our region and has proven to be very successful down south at your Houston plant. And we're very excited to be able to adopt those learnings and that curriculum and bring it here to Clinton.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, very cool. All right, Abby, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Joe, it's a pleasure as always, sir.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right, everybody, that's been another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. Remember, we are sponsored and powered by Miles Communications. Check them out for high-speed internet, milestelephone.com. Again, milestelephone.com. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. If you or your company or organization are a member of Grow Clinton and want to be featured on our show, just hit us up, growclinton.com, or you can call our office, 242-5702. All right, until next time, see you. Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.